Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. So my Lunar brothers and sisters, before we start, thank you so much to all of you who pledged as a part of my Kickstarter. It truly means the world that I've already hit the target. There is still time for you to grab one of my goodies. If you want to, if there's something on there that you want, now is the time because it ends on the 20th. Also, for the winter solstice session on the 21st of December, if you've ever wanted an FLP session with me, this is a time for you to get not only an FLP session but so much more, so much great information on top of that for literally a fraction of the price. So if you want to grab your seat, the link in the description box below. Before we start, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on us on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So our first card is already out and for the key to the week is the Devil card, right? So what we see here, this could be a week where you really start to understand where you have self-sabotaged, where you've held yourself back. This may present to you as well. You might even, it might be one of those moments, you know, like when they say like, oh, so-and-so was caught with their hand in the cookie jar. This could be one of those moments where you catch yourself. So something could happen, something could come up this week. Maybe something is said to you, maybe something triggers you and you go to kind of launch into this tirade, and before you do, you stop and you say, holy shit, that's where this trips me up. This could be a really powerful moment of self-realization. It could also be, you know, let's call a spade a spade. Could also be a week where we just absolutely overindulge. Cancer moon, you know, my Cancer moon's in the background going like, woo. It's like that peeking at all the holiday goodies. Yeah, for sure. Right, but all jokes aside, this may be one of those weeks where you do overindulge. I mean, if you're ever going to do it, this is the week, right? Well, this and the week after, let's say. But all of this, it could show or highlight to you in some regard where those self-sabotaging tendencies lie within you, and you could really make a lot of headway of addressing that. That's really interesting, actually. Really interesting. Yeah. Okay, so for our actions and options, we have the Two of Cups. Now, what this says to me is, this week, you're going to want to connect. This week, you know, very Cancerian energy. This week, you're going to want to connect. This week, you're going to want to really connect with someone, but on a really deep level. And that connection may or may not be there. But what it's going to highlight to you is where you give too much too quickly. When it comes to your actions and options this week as well, this is going to show you it may be as well that this comes from an outside source. So maybe somebody wants to connect with you and there's a part of you that's like, no, you know, maybe you're too mistrustful for that. Again, this will be highlighted to you. I guess a good example of this would be, you know, the person that says, oh, you know, I'm tired of being lonely. I really want to be in a relationship and all of that, but then you say to them like, oh, well, so-and-so liked you, and what was happening there? And you're like, nah, I didn't trust them, or no, I don't like them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you can't, it's really, really hard to connect with people if you're not in that space. So this is going to see you maybe looking at your connection style, you know, your relationship style as well for some of you. For your communications and conversations, you have the Page of Wands. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't necessarily mean that everybody else is going to be. What you find fun in, maybe not everybody is going to find fun in. yeah, this could be a week where maybe that is highlighted to you. Maybe something, I mean, for those of you that are in relationships already, maybe something that a partner wants to do, you're kind of like, oh, you know what, this is not for me, or vice versa. And this is going to be a moment where really kind of understanding that, you know what, I'm happy to compromise, but I'm not happy to do what doesn't suit me, and vice versa. Like, this is going to see you really having to ask yourself this week. When it comes to your communications and conversations, my advice to you this week would be to either start a journal, or if you already have a journal or a diary or some sort, maybe even just start jotting stuff down about things that you think. If you're writing them down on paper, because you've got the devil card here, I never forget one time writing something really awful in my diary and then it being found because I left it on the side. Was not a great moment. So this would be that can be very damaging to you. So if you are going to keep a diary or a journal, keep it somewhere that you know is going to be secret to you. But this could be a time where you start to unpack or unpick some of your own stuff on an internal level, and you can start to look at this. It's a very internal week this week, I have to say, especially, I mean, with the sun moving into Capricorn as of the summer solstice, the winter solstice, or the summer solstice if for those of you in the southern, at the solstice point the sun's going to move into Capricorn. So it's moving into your 7th house. It's going to put a spotlight on relationships, and it looks like all of this is now already coming through. For your money and materials, you have the Hanged Man, right? So this is maybe a week where you want to try. I'm just going to put try in front of all of these because it's funny as well. In a lot of the readings, overindulgence or themes of overindulgence have come up, which makes total sense, right? Because this is the time of year for everybody, and I think after the year that we've had, everyone's going to be a little bit more. I think we're going to be tapping into that 5 energy of 2021 very early. That's as much as I'll say there. But when it comes to your money and materials, this could be a week where maybe as well, because you've got the devil card there, maybe this week it is highlighted to you where you try to fill a void with things or with food, or like outside of the holiday period. This might highlight to you where maybe some of your spending patterns are erratic or impulsive. This could be a time to really observe that, but it could also be a really great time for any form of charity work that you're looking to do. The 2 of Cups with the Hanged Man can be either really beautiful or it can be really disastrous, and it's kind of going to depend on your personality and your own level of consciousness about who you are. Couple that with the energy of the devil card that's kind of permeating this. Just be aware. Anything that comes up this week about yourself, about your style of doing things or whatever, if you see it and you think, oh, I don't like that, or I don't want to be doing that for the rest of my life, just make a mental note. Don't sit there and berate yourself about it, because that's not going to help. For your physical health and vitality, this could be, because the Hanged Man, especially coupled with the 2 of Cups, I'm just like, how do I say this? Sometimes it can be things like STIs. So this, if you're single and you're out there mingling, this would be a week to be really careful. Just be really careful with yourself. Respect yourself enough, and inadvertently by doing that, you'll be respecting somebody else. That's as much as I will say. For your come on brain, home and environment, this is actually lovely because it means that you're bringing a very spiritual element into this week. It also suggests to me as well, some of you may end up having to either house or offer a place to somebody, and I don't know why, but I just, it's like kind of like the nativity story, isn't it? No room at the inn. We used to sing that in my primary school when we were little. No room. Anyway, I'm getting completely off the subject, but I do kind of get the feeling that maybe someone either has nowhere to go or no one to spend time with, and maybe you will be opening up your home to somebody that, you know, otherwise wouldn't have anybody. So that's actually very beautiful. I think that's probably one of the best energies that comes up here. And then for your love and relations, you've got the Ace of Cups. This is beautiful, right? Because it suggests, like always, that your heart is truly in the right place. For those of you that are partnered or in relationships, this is nice. And I actually kind of feel like in a lot of ways, whatever comes up, even if it makes you tearful, I think there is support there for you from family, from loved ones, from a specific loved one, you know, or a partner or somebody that you're in a relationship with. So I like this. I actually like this a lot. What I will say to you though, for those of you that are single, again, it might be highlighted to you this week where something is, it offers great connection for now, but it isn't necessarily what you need for the long term. And sometimes that realization comes because you look at the connection that you're in and you kind of say to yourself, wow, okay, so this was great for who I was then, but I'm probably not going to grow or expand anymore in this connection or this partnership or this relationship. Do you know what I mean? So it could be a point or a moment of realization for some of you, not all of you. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up if it's not too personal. Bit of an interesting read this week, but either which way, I think it will be a good week. Take care, and I'll see you soon.